But when you come from that place, it's not like you're given from your own pocket. It's not like if a person's thirsty that you're going to your bathtub and you're giving him or her a cup of water, and eventually you're going to have no water. When you're connected to source energy and love, what you're doing is you're going to a river or the ocean or whatever. You have an abundance of water. Do you understand? And so when you're given from a place of love and flow without expectations, it keeps coming through you. I do know this, like, for example, sometimes there's people who are givers and they're exhausted. Have you noticed that? Because they're given from possibly a place of lack. They're giving, and it's coming from some place where it is energetically depleting them. And there's this whole notion that, if you give too much, you have nothing for yourself. No, if you're given from a place of expectation, if there's an agenda attached to it, if it's being pulled out of your own pocket, out of your own resources that's driven by ego, you're going to be exhausted. I work with a lot of clients. I listen to at least 20 clients a week. And people often ask me, like, how do you do that? And it's a simple answer. It's their stuff. I don't make it my own. And when I give them, say, words of wisdom, when I share space with them, when I share love with them, I also don't have an agenda that you better get better or you better like me as a therapist. I'm not come from that place. Because there's been clients I've worked with, I'm like, I can see sometimes we see people, we see the bigger picture, and we know if they do this and this and this, they let go of whatever it is, that their life will probably shift for the better, but they just don't do that. But it's not me to tell them that they're screwing up in their life. It's not me, and even if I were to say that, it doesn't mean that they're going to do the right thing that I would do. It has to be the right thing for them, depending on where they are in their life. There's something they haven't learned yet. So when a client comes in, they don't take anything from me because I'm not coming from that place. For the most part, I see a lot of great results, but there's times where I'm thinking it was a great session and I never hear back from them, and I don't know. How many of you actually have tried to help someone and you feel depleted? Maybe they have an addiction. You're thinking, oh, I'm doing everything I can, and I just can't help this person. And I actually got a phone call from someone who sounded really desperate, who's practicing the law of attraction. And she's saying, I haven't called her back. She's saying, I'm trying to do all these different things for him. And I can hear this desperation in her throat. And I'm thinking in this now moment, you're completely out of alignment with that which you want to attract for him and yourself. Do you understand? You can't get as sick as a person you're trying to help. You can't get as stressed as a person you're trying to get out of stress. You can't get as poor as a person who's impoverished. Sometimes people feel guilty for having all this money because another person doesn't. That's not going to help that person. You have to come from a place of love, joy, prosperity, and abundance so you can be a model. So they have some guidance. I mean, would you take financial advice from some person who is broke? And there you go, okay? So you need to come from a place of that which you're trying to model. So important.